Hello, welcome to yet another episode with.
Random Rants.
Okay, this is episode number 23, and I think we are coming back after a long, long time.
Mm,
I don't know. The thing is with us, one thing we are trying to do is let go and surrender and
mm,
go with the flow
mm,
and take rest when your body is asking for it and just simply
mm.
be and incorporate a lot of do nothings. So
Yeah, so listen to the body,
yeah,
look for the signs,
yeah,
and just go with the flow. Those are
yeah.
three key topics. Yeah.
So, with that, the reason why we are asking you to do that is also because the topic for today is ta 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 consciousness,
Mm-hmm,
okay,
mm-hmm,
and matrix,
mm-hmm,
and simulation,
mm-hmm,
and Vishnu,
mm-hmm,
and artificial intelligence,
mm-hmm,
and maybe tarots,
mm-hmm.
and the controversy about AI.
Controversy with AI. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's dive right into
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
Boko,
yeah.
out of all these topics that I mentioned, which one would you like to start first?
Well, start with consciousness and then build it from there. So yeah,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
then eventually we'll come up to AI.
Yeah,
We can take
yeah.
it from there.
So, let me put it this way, okay? I'm not a very scientific person, but I'm a very intuitive person, not just spiritually, I feel, but also mathematically. I
Mm-hmm,
don't know how to explain that,
mm-hmm,
like in the
mm-hmm,
sense that I see patterns.
mm-hmm,
Maybe that's because I could be in the ASD spectrum.
mm. Could
I
also be
keep
because you're very visual. You're
yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I keep saying, right, oh, that's the coat hanger,
Mm,
and
mm,
that's the coat hanger. That's
mm,
the only way I remember,
mm-hmm,
because for me it is very difficult to otherwise
mm,
remember.
mm,
But that has also made me really, really good at this kind of pattern recognition thing, okay?
mm, mm,
So for me, ever since I was a child, this question has always been like a
mm,
thing, okay?
mm,
I have a mother. My mother has a mother. My mother has a mother. My mother has a mother. Okay, okay.
mm, mm,
Let's just
mm,
take
mm,
the maternal side, only the
mm,
maternal side.
mm,
Who was the first mother? There has to be somebody who
mm,
was the mother, and
mm,
there's nobody, right?
mm,
Like
mm,
when life began.
mm,
I'm not saying as a human being. I'm
mm,
saying as a dot, the
mm,
first
mm,
microorganism. Or actually, the first microorganism is not even a mother. It's
mm,
a thing. It's a general
mm,
neutral
mm,
thing. Maybe we are going back,
mm,
LGBTQ fans.
mm,
Like we are saying it's genderless,
mm,
like it's
mm,
more. But maybe that's also because even though our physical body has split into
mm,
different things, we are actually the same, or
mm,
our connection is the
mm,
same,
mm,
and it doesn't matter
mm,
because um, first of all, we are all part of the same thing.
mm.
There has to be that
Originating from
start,
a
one
single source. Yeah.
single. So everybody is my brother and sister,
Mm,
including this plant. Right now, when the recording began,
mm.
you remember what I was saying?
Yeah.
What was I
The
saying?
plants were tickling you. So we have some overgrown plants in our garden.
Hi, bird.
And then, yeah, so we were sitting close to the plants and that was sort of tickling our legs.
Because the thing is, at the end,
Mm,
we are all one.
mm,
And spiritually, I call this one
mm,
singularity,
mm,
consciousness.
mm,
So it's actually consciousness. I
mm,
call it singularity.
mm,
We have to pause the video. We'll be right back. Hey, so when it comes to life form, I
mm,
think whatever be the case, at the end, we began from that one single stem.
mm,
That itself makes us brothers, sisters.
mm,
In that sense, if you
mm,
think about it intellectually,
mm,
okay? Now, that is only in terms of life form.
mm,
Now, think about it this way, matter form. Like we are
mm,
all
mm.
CH, I'm saying
Yeah,
CH, organic
yeah,
chemistry at the
yeah,
end of the day,
yeah,
right? Everything.
yeah.
But even so is plastic. If you
Mm,
really start
mm,
thinking, it is basic
mm,
ingredients only. Like,
mm,
yeah.
I heard the exact same thing recently as also
Oh,
when he said
yeah.
that person on the video was saying that okay, so let's break you human being into different elements. Yeah, so you are full as a body,
Mm.
then you are made of organs.
Mm.
If you go into organs, then you have
Ah,
those kind of thing like
zooming in,
zoom in.
like yeah,
Then you
yeah.
come to cell level, and then you go further in.
Mm.
Then you come into molecule and an atom, and what's an atom, and then they say yeah, it's proton and electron. So you come to that level. And that same person said if you take a brick or a door, it comes okay. What is it? It's wood. Okay, you go inside, then eventually you will come and stop.
At
Anything
electron.
it start,
Exactly,
it come and stop at
exactly.
proton and electron. That's it. Everything in here and even in the universe will come and end up in proton and electron. That's it.
Okay, now let's agree with that.
Mm,
And one level deeper.
mm,
At the end of the day, everything is wave vibration.
mm, mm,
So the people who are saying, yeah, it's about vibration and blah blah blah, they're not fools. Like you can also think
mm,
that this is how they are thinking.
mm,
Because if you think about it, it's all coming to
mm,
wave
mm,
dot wave dot wave dot. That's the thing, right?
mm,
It keeps changing,
mm,
and this change is also like yin yang or parallel universe, or you can think of it in any way that you want. Um, yeah. So at the end of the day, even when it comes to wave thingy,
mm,
it must have been like in wave motion, or even if you think there is matter and everything started from big bang, and at the end at the beginning it was matter. Where did this matter come from? What is that first matter made of? Like for something, for the big bang to happen, there must have been something. So that doesn't make any sense. So even as an atheist, actually this is the part of the scientist part of me, or the philosopher part of me, that started connecting these dots from all directions, or the yeah, in that sense. And then even if you think of it in another way, like I've always thought, okay, we are from Kerala. Kerala is in India. India is in Asia. Asia is in the world. World is in the solar system. Solar system in the Milky Way. Like if you start thinking, I think as a child, maybe when I was a year's age, this was what I was thinking, and this used to worry me a lot, because there is no answer to where is this universe expanding to, or okay, universe is infinite, but then what box is it contained in? Like
that is also interesting because I saw another video on entropy, and this video was saying that why entropy is the center of everything. Why entropy is the single most concept. Even this fact that the universe is expanding is not because somebody invented and measured and said it was X astronomical unit before, and now 1 year it is X astronomical unit. So hereby I prove to you that the universe is expanding. I don't think anyone did
with
the.
dashed meter per second
It's
speed.
it's the physics equation or that concept. It says for everything to remain in the stability or in the equilibrium, it has to keep expanding. Yeah, so it's the whole entropy concept. Check it out, or maybe I can put the link below on entropy. It was a really interesting video. So that's how you kind of, because of this and that, it has to be this. So that's why you say the universe is expanding, constantly expanding.
Wow.
Otherwise, it'll all collapse, or it'll not make sense. Then the entire physics will collapse, or so it will not make sense.
Yeah. That's the thing. So I think there will be a limit to which our human brains can comprehend. That doesn't mean that there is no intelligence about it. There is an intelligence about in the solar system. That's why the planets are revolving in the correct thing. ഇരുളും പോലും തേജോഗോളങ്ങൾ നിൻ വിരൽ തുമ്പിൽ തിരിയുന്നു. I always feel this connected to Mahavishnu. Like, it's a beautiful song. My mother always sings this. Shout out to Mama. And the thing is, that is the thing. You're not the highest intelligent. Our own Earth, Gaia, whatever, call it whatever you want. Earth, Bhumi Devi, whatever. has an
mm,
intelligence. The river Ganga
mm,
has an intelligence.
mm,
A bee has an
mm,
intelligence.
mm,
This leaf has an intelligence. Even this card that I'm holding to stay in matter form as a
mm,
card with
mm,
such and such properties, there is an intelligence which is
mm,
hidden in the form of electrons, neutrons, blah blah blah.
mm,
What
mm,
which comes down to those wave
mm,
function
mm,
theory.
mm,
I don't know. I don't know the physics behind it,
mm,
but it's really exactly the same.
mm. Again, that so I keep referring to a lot of videos. So you would already guessed it, right? Yes, I see a lot of videos. So in one another video, it said even at cellular level they have intelligence.
Ha
Yeah.
ha.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
particular
yeah, yeah.
cell
Yeah.
has the intelligence or knowledge. Okay, this is about conception and babies being
Oh,
born and things like that. Yeah.
beautiful.
So that particular cell, maybe it's in the heart cell, that says, okay, I need to grow into this shape and form, and this is my function, it's growth. So it's not like, everybody's like human kids are of the, but you need to have 10 fingers, 10 toes, or your eyes should be here, your nose should be there, your mouth should be here. This is the generic shape of your skull. The heart should be there, the lungs should be here. So there is all this code of programming, right? How does, so
Oh,
that's what they said. So
beautiful.
there are scientists who say that, each cell has its own intelligence, which knows it has to grow until this point and stop. And they try to mess with the intelligence. I don't know what
Yeah, yeah.
frog it's called.
Tadpole.
Yeah, some type of frog or tadpole.
Mm,
They, so for it,
mm,
the eyes would form at a particular location, and by the time it becomes a full form,
mm.
the eyes kind of move and come to the correct position.
Beautiful.
So they were like, is this some like a fixed code or can it adapt? So they manipulated or they did something
Mm,
to change the initial forming of the eye to somewhere else.
mm.
Okay, so it kind of looks all messed up than what it normally happens. But eventually, so it the whole process of eye moving was different from an ordinary, normal, unmanipulated tadpole. But in this one also, it went in all different places, directions, and in the end, eyes did come up to the same place. So what they were trying to say is that, so it's not like a hard wired code. It has an intelligence. It knows, okay, even if you mess with me, eventually I need to end up in that place.
Mm.
Right? So there is that intelligence which is active. It is not a stupid hard line code or hard written code
Mm.
that if you mess with it, that okay, this is what I was supposed to move only 5 centimeters. You put me somewhere else, I will still only move 5 centimeters. No, it still has the intelligence to come and say, okay, eyes has to be there.
Mm.
And so that's also, well, it was also meaning two things. One is it has intelligence.
Mm.
Two is that is what is helping us evolve and cope. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
whatever situation happens in our
PDCA, continuous
in your
improvement.
environment, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the olden times, the pollutions were less, or let's say the kind of air you breathe in was different. Now it's different. People still live, right? So there is
Yeah.
evolution or adaptation happening,
Mm.
and that's also the intelligence of the cell. So your lungs, consider this as the kind of food you eat. You think this from the people that were there ages ago, or the system knew, okay, I would be able to digest cola, for instance, or new type of preservatives, for instance. Whatever you throw at your body, your system is able to break it down to that fundamental. So all that learning is happening. So there is some sort of intelligence to it. That's basically the point.
Mm.
Mm.
And beautiful. I just saw a bird fly.
I think they also saw it.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Magnificent creature.
Mm.
It's so intelligent that it can beat gravity almost and
Mm.
stay up.
Mm.
But so did the aeroplane that was in
Mm.
the beginning of
Mm.
this episode.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Mm. About intelligence of the birds as well. And there was another documentary
Mm.
that we saw the birds know. So birds have a very typical time when they migrate. Yeah. And it's not like they wait for, okay, I'm only supposed to fly in April. I wait for April and then I fly. It's not like they have a calendar like that. They kind of sense things changing in the atmosphere. It could be atmosphere pressure or the wind, because they could be seeing much more than what you could see, as in what our range of vision or or audio capacity is.
Oh,
And they might, because if I don't start now, it's only February, but if I don't start now, I might be stuck here for summer, and I don't want to do it. So they might start early. So they have some sort of an intelligence
intelligence.
in their migration pattern as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was another one about some kind of moth or cricket. I forgot
Mm,
which one.
mm,
One of these moth. I think. Uh, um, it would go into some kind of hibernation and would reappear.
mm.
But the reappearance was prime numbers, the frequency,
There was something like that. Yeah.
which means the chance of two moth species colliding
Yeah.
is way
Yeah.
lesser.
Yeah.
My god, that kind of
Yeah, it'll
intelligence.
blow your mind. So
So
those
it's
two
also
species,
collective
yeah,
intelligence. Yeah, you said.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's exactly it. So those two species, if they had come together in nature, they would have killed each other. So there was a programming that they will never coincide. I mean, who writes such kind of efficient codes? You'll start go crazy.
Kalakaran. Dang,
Mm,
dang, dang. It's the same with human species. Like in olden times, it's not like Homo sapiens were the only ones. Like
mm,
if you think like before that,
mm,
like there were many kinds of Homo
mm,
people living
mm,
together in the
mm,
same world,
mm,
but maybe having their own
mm,
groups
mm,
depending on, like,
mm,
traditional
mm,
sort of.
mm,
But traditional means it's their
mm,
motherland sort
mm,
of
mm,
thingy,
mm,
aboriginal
mm, mm,
thingy. I don't even know if that's a
mm,
bad
mm,
word
mm.
or not, but if
Like natives.
yeah, native. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Natives.
yeah, yeah,
Natives is the
yeah,
word.
yeah.
um yeah, and that makes perfect sense,
Mm,
and that's possible because there was also this kind of respect, there was
mm,
also this kind of coexistence in this garden. Now actually we've literally, we wanted to let it
mm,
a bit
mm,
become unruly and the
mm.
flowers to take
Maybe I can
over.
show it quickly. You see it. That's basically it. So, uh,
But the thing is, these plants are coexisting,
mm,
but the some may also perish, or some may dominate
mm,
another, or some might have diseases,
mm,
or some might yield better,
mm,
or I don't
mm,
know, but they still coexist in a much harmonious
mm,
manner, being
mm,
themselves. I
mm,
don't think they are faking it or pretending
mm,
for others. They're just taking and owning the space and being who you
mm,
are.
mm.
Like the thing you were talking about with cats.
This time it's not a,
Hashtag Muni.
yeah, it's not a video, it's a meme
Oh.
where so the god is sitting on a high chair, yeah. So and a dog and a cat dies,
Mm.
and they come to purgatory wherever they are, and then the dog is like, I'm sorry, I lived my life like this. I saved the master, but there were occasions where I was a bit selfish. I didn't share the thing, or I did something, so I was a bit of a bad dog as well. Forgive me. Next life I'll try to do better. Then it comes to the cat, and the cat says, you're in my seat, move. I forgot the context and why I had to say that, but
Actually, me too. But
yeah,
basically, we just wanted to highlight everything in
yeah.
nature.
No, they try to own their
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It has
Mm, mm,
an intelligence that they can use without faking it by
mm,
just being themselves
mm,
and harmoniously coexisting.
mm,
That's it.
mm,
But unfortunately, there are two things I want to stress. We as humans are not doing that.
mm,
We are trying to exist for others, I feel.
mm,
We still can say, no, this is me, this is who I am, I'm
mm,
not gonna bother.
mm,
This is the true me.
mm,
Just exist,
mm.
take your space, own your space.
Be who you are.
Be who you are, just don't hit anybody
Mm,
else's nose. That's it. Take up your space.
mm.
Mm.
And there is space for everybody.
Oh, I love that.
Mm,
I love that. Even when it comes to, we were recently talking about like dressing, cloth style, fashion sense, whatever. I think more and more people are going ethnic, or more and more people are owning their.
More expressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a beautiful thing, I feel. Like, back to the roots a little bit. And there was a time when things were all Vasudeva Kudumbagam, like the global thingy. Um, but now it's more time to go a little bit inwards as a community, as yourself. Go inwards because the spiritual awakening is happening. And for people who still do not understand, even in terms of spirituality, science, we still need that singularity. And for me, that singularity is God, you can call it. But I prefer to call it consciousness. That's it. So, think of it in a different way. Just imagine, okay? Imagine. Okay. We are a simulation. This entire life is a simulation, computer programming. How many of you have seen Matrix? Yes, Matrix fan. This is exactly the same as Matrix. So the life that was being portrayed, that was actually just a simulation. And actually, if you're really, really smart, you start seeing it. And I think that's where my problem is. I cannot unsee it because it is so damn clear in my head. And once it is so damn clear, because you don't think it, you don't reason it, you don't logical blah 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 do it, you feel it, you experience it, you know it intuitively. You don't need any proof because it's too beautiful. And I know a lot of friends have been teasing me, us maybe, I don't know, saying that, come on, you're so intelligent, why would you talk like this, it's nonsense kind of thingy. But it's about an internal inquiry. And the only request is to each their own. Maybe you're being too judgmental. It's like there was a time when LGBTQ people were suffering. No, before that, even women as general, even still maybe now. Then LGBTQ, then neurodivergent, then spiritual. Like that, there's gonna be that niche thingy. It's a pity. Just live and let live. As long as nobody is hurting you, just live and let live. So if you think that each of us are part of that matrix thingy, then what if we are codes in a computer program, and all this is a simulation, and that computer program's language, like we say, like Python, Java, whatever, it's actually mathematics and physics and chemistry and blah, blah, blah. All those rules of nature that we try to decipher or find out. These are all just programming language thingies, some functions or whatever. Like, that's it. That's how I'm seeing it.
That's what also some scientists say, the entire universe, entire life can be summed up as an expression in mathematics. It's the whole,
I love it.
The whole, whatever is here, it's mathematical equation, and it has to hold true.
I think one of our starting episodes, maybe episode 1 of Random Rants even.
Maybe.
But, I really don't know, but I must have spoken about it because we've discussed this in Random Rants itself, that the entire thing is a mathematical equation, like F is equal to, life is equal to function of blah 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 blah. So even scientifically speaking, I feel like you need an observer, and depending on the observer, it is wave or it keeps changing depending on the observer and the observation. So at the end of the day, without an observer, we cannot exist. It's that mother of the mother of the mother. Who's that first mother? Same question. Who's that first observer? There has to be a first observer. So for me, that is God. And I am seeing God as a computer program. No, computer program is the universe. God is more the computer, the computer in which the computer program exists. And if that is the computer, then it has to be a mental thing. It has to have an intelligence, the computer kind intelligence, the augmented intelligence. Yeah, the I cannot say artificial because it's not artificial. Even a code is intelligent. So AI, in my view, it is more augmented intelligence or some extra intelligence, one more layer of intelligence, one more layer of intelligence. As yeah, then that's that, right? So everything has that intelligence, and we are that intelligence which is in the code format written in a computer programming called universe or life or call it what you want, which is contained in a computer of such super intelligence that you can call him, her, slash they, them, God. Or scientifically you can also call them singularity, or you can also call them consciousness, because I prefer to think it is a mental concept. At the end of the day, there is no mass, there is nothing. It's just a mental concept, mentalism. Yeah, in episode 1 we have Kiblion. Universe is a mental thing. I'm just falling in love with the birds that are flying by.
What is interesting is sometimes people say, the earth is in a very unique position. Like,
Goldilocks zone.
yeah, exact location from the earth, so it's not too hot or too cold. But slight tilt gives you 4 seasons. How perfect is it? Chance of again? Then you're thinking that even if it was, let's say, we were on Mars or Venus, and so either way, it's extremely hot or it's cold.
We would have been different.
Yeah, we would have been different. There would still be a code, and that code would have said that you can survive in this kind of atmosphere where there is not proper atmosphere or it's extremely cold, but you are destined or programmed to live that is your. So then Mars becomes your that perfect planet, which is in the exact correct place. So it's not like we got lucky with Earth.
Flow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just that they've written a code for us to survive on Earth. If you were on Mars, there would be a code for us written to survive on Mars and to breathe whatever is the air there, whatever percentage of oxygen or carbon or whatever, it be written. So it's just that.
I think I remember 5th standard. Shobha Miss, if you're there, hi. I actually, that was my first class in geography, and I think the topic was solar system or something like that. I don't know. Like that's my memory. I could be extremely wrong. That's my memory. And I started thinking, oh, okay, what about after the galaxy? Like, what about after that? What about beyond that, beyond that, beyond that? And my head started also thinking, hey, wait a second. If a galaxy has millions of solar system, there'll be millions of, no, not millions, maybe 1/10th of that as Earth like planets, or forget it, 1/100th of that. Still, there are some possibility, and in that maybe 1/100 might have life. Even then, there's some possibility. Again, that's my thing. Yeah. So it's also not like we are unique. It's just that
it's also not like we got lucky. No.
Yeah. So as Sneha, I have a certain intelligence with which I can move a lot of my body parts. Some parts I cannot. It's not in my control. And think for myself and do things and choose things, and that's it. Yeah. But Earth in itself also has that thing. So we talked about these kind of levels of intelligence, but even if you think like that, in no way can we say it goes infinitely. At some point we have to say, okay, it can loop, but there still needs to be a starting. And there, I think, connected to your entropy, the starting is there, but entropy is happening, which means an end is also coming. But when end is coming, where
Mm.
does all this matter go?
Mm.
Or where does all this energy go?
Mm.
It cannot just fall and stop or
Mm.
anything.
Mm. Mm.
So it just transform itself
Mm.
into
Mm.
thingies.
Mm.
And this you can think about in earth level, human
Mm.
level. Our
Mm.
life, we are born, we die.
Mm.
Plants life, they born, die.
Mm.
Dog's life, it's
Mm.
completely different lifespan. So there is a lot of things that are pre-programmed
Mm.
beyond our control.
Mm.
Where does our intelligence come from? And even that,
Mm.
the planets, where
Mm.
does their intelligence come from? Solar
Mm.
system, where does
Mm.
their
Mm.
intelligence comes from?
Mm.
So even if you just extrapolate that,
Mm. Mm.
so
Mm.
come in whatever direction, in
Mm.
whatever
Mm.
question,
Mm.
there has to be that thing.
Mm.
And then the only explanation is that if there has to be that thing,
Mm.
like call it God for just
Mm.
ease of explaining,
Mm.
then there has to be a plan that is there.
Mm.
But there is also this capability to behave and think like a
Mm.
human being.
Mm. Mm.
There is also the parnavala, we can tell our organs,
Mm.
do this,
Mm.
organ, heart,
Mm.
clean itself,
Mm.
or I don't know,
Mm.
brain, get
Mm.
some sleep.
Mm.
We can actually train.
Mm.
But maybe
Mm.
we can also change the code
Mm.
and say, next month Sneha
Mm.
hits 1 million lottery money, whatever.
Mm.
like, like just write the
Mm.
code and
Mm.
say, good night, I'm sleeping.
Mm.
And then universe will be like, oh, in Sneha program, do this.
Mm.
That is also that Paulo
Mm.
Coelho
Mm.
thingy.
Mm. Alchemist.
Mm.
Mm. So the people also talk about brain plasticity and things like that. So you have some capacity to mold yourself or give commands to your own body parts or organs, saying that hey, from now on we're gonna do this, and you can actually make a difference. There are people, there are sometimes people who have been paralyzed, who gets up and walks in the, I've been training my brain, I've been telling myself or teaching my cells
Mm.
or reconfirming or giving assurances or internally saying that no, I can walk or my legs will move or and things do, because there are some testimonials like that, and I think these kind of things are true. You can actually make it work. It depends on how convinced you are of that or how genuine you are of those things, efforts.
Yeah, actually, this video should be tied to maybe the next video. We
Mm.
can have
Mm.
law of attraction
Mm.
or manifestation.
Mm.
If you're interested, tell us in the comment below, because then depending on that, we can
Mm.
have that video.
Mm.
But yeah, indeed, it is about um, it's about how you want to
Mm. Mm.
behave as
Mm.
that individual, how you want to use that intelligence.
Mm.
But it's also about planning for your
Mm.
future,
Mm.
using that
Mm.
intelligence, writing your own code, being
Mm.
the creator or the
Mm.
architect of your own
Mm. Mm.
life, so to
Mm.
say. And that thought is beautiful.
Mm.
And it's like you said, people walking.
Mm.
It's not even about saying, okay, let my disease go away.
Mm.
It's about saying, I can stand.
Mm. Mm.
Or believing that I'm
Mm.
standing.
Mm.
This is how I feel.
Mm.
Like, even if you're laying down, like, feel like you're standing up.
Mm.
This is how I feel when I'm standing up.
Mm.
And then body will be like, okay.
Mm.
Because you are the true master.
Mm.
Your thought, your feeling, your being is the
Mm.
true master. It's also sort of like that.
Mm.
So sometimes people say, you should be what you want. Be like what you are thinking of. Sort of like that.
Sometimes
But
people will say, like in your dream, if you are a like yeah, if you're a bad dreamer, so you might wake up with your heart pumping, or
yeah.
if you felt like in your dream
Yeah.
you're really running, you might wake up sweaty and all that.
Yeah, you're beautiful.
It's not like you were actually running to sweat. Yeah, so there's something happening that triggers all that. Yeah.
Yeah, there is some screen where this show is happening.
Mm.
I always like to think about it like that. So it's beautiful if you start thinking about all this. Like, where is this happening? Where is the dream happening? Where is this thought happening? Where is who is connecting the dots and seeing what I'm seeing? How am I seeing? Like, really, okay, I understand the biology behind it, but how do I see? I understand the physics behind it, but it's an experience. Like, how am I getting that experience? How can I describe that experience?
And
So
how did they determine like, this is the actual visible part of the light, and light has more spectrums.
I love that.
It's okay, you have eyes, you have brain that will decipher it,
Yeah.
and then but we'll put a limit. You only need to see so much. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to see.
yeah. Efficient use.
And for
Efficient use.
dogs, they might say, oh, you only
I
have to
love
see
that.
this. You don't have to see everything. You don't have to see all the colors and things like that. So yeah.
Or is it the opposite? Or because
Yeah.
you're a dog, you can only see this much. Or
Yeah.
oh my god, chicken egg problem. So I think it was the egg, the idea, the thought, the mental space, and not really the physical space, the mind over body, or energy over mass. So E is equal to mc square. Beautiful equation in that sense. So from a spiritual point of view, I always feel like that's what it's talking about. From a spiritual point of view, I could even say it's thinking like Shiv and Shakti, or yin and yang, or there is a connection. Moon and sun, one is like fire energy, the other is like calming moonlight energy. Water and fire, like there is that element of opposites, duality. Yeah. But even though that is there, it is also about the very fact that it is not dual. It is the same thing. It's call it what you want. You can call it Jesus, you can call it God, you can call it Swargam, you can call it Brahma, you can call it, I don't know what you can call it, like the Federation, or whatever you call it. It has that intelligence. Yeah. Okay, and that intelligence or that singularity is consciousness, which is God, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, if you want to call it, if you want to give that label as God,
or if you're a scientist, call it singularity, or maybe in future
energy,
we will
or
discover something. Beautiful. Or
call it what
vibration.
you want. Call it what you want.
But there is that ting at the top. And until we meet again in the next episode, we want to say bye bye and thank you, and a reminder to keep your energy love
and
above. There is an additional segment, tarot reading. So for those who want to stay, you can stay. Others, bye bye.
Bye.
Ting. Okay, let's see. What kind of a question do you want? A question for the people or the episode, or
no, sure, give me some suggestions.
we could even ask the universe to just say something.
Yeah, give me a message.
Okay, you specifically. Maybe not during the.
Yeah, I don't know. Give us the community a message.
Okay, I like that.
Give the Happynet community a message.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Happynet community message for you.
Yeah.
Queen of Sword. Okay. This is it for this episode, because we will be coming back and then we will reveal the answer of what that card means. Okay? So bye bye. But you can already do your research.
All right.
Stay love and about. Take care.
Bye bye.